Listen closely because what you are feeling is not weakness. It may be your body signaling something correctable, not the end of clarity or independence. This is not about expensive treatments, complicated routines, or chasing quick miracles that rarely work for older adults. US physicians and researchers from major universities have been studying vision and memory decline in seniors seriously for decades. Before we continue, comment your age below. Stay till the end and help build a supportive community where seniors learn and heal together. Now, what most people don't realize is this: order matters. Doing this in the wrong sequence can increase inflammation, disrupt hormones, and actually make vision and memory worse. Walnuts play a uniquely powerful role in supporting memory and vision in adults over 60. Not because they are trendy, but because they address one of the most overlooked biological drivers of decline: chronic inflammation inside the brain. Many seniors assume memory lapses or mental fog are simply part of getting older. Yet, what most people don't realize is that the brain remains highly adaptable well into later decades when it is given the right building materials. Walnuts provide those materials in a form the aging body can actually use. From a biological standpoint, walnuts are one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid. These fats are not just energy sources, they are structural components of brain cell membranes. As we age, those membranes become more rigid, which slows communication between neurons. Doctors were surprised to find that older adults with lower omega-3 intake showed measurable reductions in processing speed and short-term memory even when no neurological disease was present. This is not just aging, it is a nutritional gap that widens quietly over time. Here's what happens inside your body. During the night, especially in deep sleep, the brain clears metabolic waste and reinforces memory pathways formed during the day. For this process to work, brain cells need flexible membranes and stable signaling. Omega-3 fats from walnuts integrate into those membranes, improving fluidity and allowing signals to pass more efficiently. This is why some seniors report clearer thinking in the morning after consistent walnut intake. The change does not feel dramatic at first, but it feels steadier, more reliable, and less frightening. Protein content in walnuts matters as well. After age 60, muscle and nerve tissue both become more sensitive to protein deficiency. Walnuts provide plant protein that supports neurotransmitter production without overstimulating insulin or cortisol. This is especially important at night, when hormonal balance determines whether the body repairs or inflames. Many older adults unknowingly eat foods in the evening that spike blood sugar, disrupting sleep hormones and worsening brain inflammation. Walnuts counteract this by slowing digestion and stabilizing glucose response. Doctors observed that seniors who included walnuts regularly had lower markers of systemic inflammation, which directly affects the small blood vessels supplying the eyes and brain. Vision depends on those vessels remaining open and flexible. Memory depends on consistent blood flow to areas responsible for learning and recall. This is where things get interesting. Walnuts do not act directly on eyesight. Yet, by reducing inflammation and improving circulation, they create the conditions necessary for visual tissues to repair themselves overnight. The method matters. 2 whole walnuts are enough. More can burden digestion and interfere with sleep quality. They should be eaten after almonds, not before. This order is intentional. Almonds provide magnesium and vitamin E, which calm the nervous system and reduce oxidative stress. Walnuts then deliver omega-3 fats into a body that is already hormonally prepared to absorb them. Eating walnuts first, or in isolation, can lead to incomplete absorption and digestive discomfort in seniors. What you're experiencing is real. Many older adults describe a subtle mental fatigue that does not show up on tests but affects daily confidence. This is not your fault. Nutrient absorption changes with age, and walnuts help bridge that gap gently. Their fats also assist in the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients from other foods, acting as carriers that escort protective compounds into brain and eye tissue. Emotionally, walnuts offer reassurance. They do not push the body, they support it. Seniors who feel anxious about memory loss often relax when they learn that the brain responds to consistent nourishment rather than aggressive intervention. Walnuts work slowly, respectfully, and in alignment with the body's natural repair rhythms. This consistency is what allows the next step to work properly, because improved circulation and reduced inflammation are prerequisites for delivering minerals and oxygen deeper into the brain and visual system. Without walnuts, the system lacks stability. Nutrients may be consumed, but they are not used efficiently. With walnuts in the correct place, the body becomes receptive. Blood flow improves, inflammation quiets, hormones stabilize, and the brain enters sleep prepared to do what it was designed to do: repair, organize, and remember. Almonds may seem simple, yet for adults over 60, they address one of the earliest and most damaging shifts in aging physiology: the quiet loss of cellular protection and mineral balance that affects both vision and memory long before serious symptoms appear. Many seniors notice eye fatigue at night or a slower mental pace and assume nothing can be done. What most people don't realize is that these changes often begin with declining antioxidant defenses and disrupted nerve signaling, not irreversible damage. Biologically, almonds are dense in vitamin E, magnesium, and plant-based protein, a combination that becomes increasingly important after 60. Vitamin E is a primary fat-soluble antioxidant that protects the delicate fatty tissues of the retina and the brain. As the years pass, oxidative stress accumulates from light exposure, blood sugar fluctuations, and low-grade inflammation. Doctors observed that older adults with lower vitamin E levels showed faster decline in visual sharpness and increased sensitivity to glare, especially in the evening. This is not just aging, and this is not your fault. Dietary patterns earlier in life rarely emphasize sustained antioxidant intake. Here's what happens inside your body. At night, repair hormones rise and damaged cells are either restored or replaced. The retina and neural tissue are especially active during this window. Almond-derived vitamin E integrates into cell membranes, forming a protective barrier that reduces oxidative injury while you sleep. This protection allows nerve signals to travel more smoothly, which is essential for both clear vision and memory formation. Without this layer of defense, even small inflammatory insults can accumulate and interfere with function. Magnesium in almonds plays an equally critical role. Magnesium supports over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which regulate nerve transmission, muscle relaxation, and hormone balance. After age 60, magnesium absorption declines, often leading to subtle symptoms like nighttime restlessness, eye twitching, or mental tension that feels difficult to explain. Doctors were surprised to find that seniors with marginal magnesium deficiency frequently reported poor sleep quality and next-day cognitive fog. Almonds provide magnesium in a form that is gentle and well tolerated when consumed correctly. Protein matters here as well. The brain relies on amino acids to produce neurotransmitters responsible for focus, memory, and emotional stability. Almond protein supports this process without overstimulating insulin. This is where things get interesting. Unlike heavier protein sources, almonds deliver steady nourishment that calms the nervous system rather than activating stress hormones. That calm state is essential for nighttime repair and sets the stage for deeper sleep cycles where memory consolidation occurs. Method and timing are not optional details. 5 raw almonds soaked during the day and eaten about 30 minutes before bed provides sufficient nutrients without burdening digestion. Soaking reduces phytic acid, which otherwise blocks mineral absorption and makes almonds easier for older digestive systems to handle. Chewing slowly signals the brain that nourishment is arriving, enhancing hormonal coordination between the gut and nervous system. Eating almonds earlier in the evening or in large quantities can interfere with insulin balance and blunt their benefits. Doctors observed that seniors who followed this method consistently reported reduced eye dryness upon waking, fewer nighttime awakenings, and a subtle but meaningful sense of mental steadiness. What you're experiencing is real, and these small improvements often restore confidence before dramatic changes appear. Almonds also prepare the body for what comes next by stabilizing blood sugar and calming cortisol, the stress hormone that interferes with sleep and repair. This preparation matters because nutrient absorption is sequential. Almonds create a metabolic environment where fats, minerals, and antioxidants from subsequent foods can be delivered efficiently. Without this foundation, later nutrients may circulate without reaching the tissues that need them most. Almonds act as the quiet stabilizer, ensuring that inflammation is reduced, hormones are balanced, and the nervous system is receptive. Emotionally, almonds offer reassurance. They do not force change. They support the body's existing intelligence. Seniors often fear that decline means loss of control. Yet, this simple practice restores a sense of partnership with the body. Consumed consistently, almonds become a nightly signal that repair is safe, nourishment is available, and the systems responsible for vision and memory can finally slow down enough to recover. Raisins are often dismissed as simple dried grapes, Yet, for adults over 60, they represent one of the most underestimated tools for supporting both vision and memory during sleep. What most people don't realize is that age-related decline in eyesight and recall is rarely about the eyes or brain alone. It is about circulation, mineral delivery, and nighttime cellular repair. Raisins sit at the center of that process when used correctly. Biologically, raisins are concentrated sources of boron, iron, potassium, and polyphenol antioxidants. Boron in particular plays a critical role in brain signaling and mineral metabolism. Yet levels decline steadily with age. When boron is low, nerve communication slows, memory feels less sharp, and eye muscles fatigue more quickly, especially in low light or at night. Doctors were surprised to find that older adults with subtle boron deficiency often complained of symptoms that were dismissed as normal aging: trouble focusing, difficulty recalling words, and eye strain before bedtime. What makes raisins unique is how efficiently their nutrients are absorbed when the digestive system is calm, which typically happens in the evening hours. Here's what happens inside your body. As you prepare for sleep, blood flow shifts away from digestion toward repair and restoration. Raisins provide easily accessible minerals that enter circulation quickly, helping red blood cells carry oxygen to the retina and to memory-related areas of the brain like the hippocampus. That oxygen delivery is critical because both vision and memory are highly sensitive to even mild drops in nighttime circulation. Inflammation is another key factor. Low-grade inflammation quietly damages small blood vessels in the eyes and brain over time. The polyphenols in raisins act as gentle anti-inflammatory compounds, reducing oxidative stress without overstimulating the nervous system. This is especially important for seniors because aggressive supplements can disrupt sleep hormones. Raisins work differently. They support repair without forcing the body into a stressed metabolic state. This is not just aging, and this is not your fault. Many older adults were never taught how mineral absorption changes after 60, and raisins help fill that gap naturally. Timing and method are critical. 1 tablespoon of organic raisins is enough. More is not better. Eating raisins alone or earlier in the evening can spike insulin, which blocks nighttime repair and increases inflammation. This is where many people unknowingly make things worse. When raisins are eaten last after almonds and walnuts, insulin response is blunted, absorption improves, and the minerals are directed toward repair rather than storage. This sequence matters because fats and proteins consumed earlier slow sugar absorption, allowing raisins to do their job without hormonal disruption. Doctors observed that seniors who followed this order consistently reported fewer nighttime vision disturbances, less eye dryness upon waking, and improved word recall within weeks. Here's what makes this especially important. Memory consolidation happens during sleep. If oxygen delivery and mineral availability are compromised at night, the brain cannot store information efficiently. Raisins quietly support this process by improving blood quality and reducing microinflammation while sleep hormones are active. Emotionally, this matters because many older adults fear that memory loss or vision decline means loss of independence. What you're experiencing is real, but it is not irreversible. Raisins provide a sense of control that feels manageable and respectful of the body's pace. They connect logically to the previous foods by enhancing circulation and nutrient transport, ensuring that the vitamin E from almonds and omega-3 fats from walnuts actually reach the tissues they are meant to protect. Without this step, nutrients remain underutilized. This is where things get interesting. Raisins do not work by stimulation, but by restoration. They support hormones indirectly by improving mineral balance, which helps regulate melatonin and cortisol overnight. Better sleep quality follows, and with it, better repair. The key is consistency. 1 tablespoon nightly in the correct order becomes a quiet signal to the body that repair is allowed. Over time, that signal grows stronger and the body responds. Nighttime insulin control is the factor that quietly determines whether any nutritional strategy succeeds or fails in adults over 60. Many seniors do everything right, eat well, take supplements, follow routines, yet still feel disappointed by slow or inconsistent results. What most people don't realize is that without stable insulin during sleep, the body cannot shift into repair mode. This is not a motivation issue or lack of discipline. It is a biological switch that becomes more fragile with age. Insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone. It is a master signal that tells cells whether to store, burn, or repair. During the day, insulin helps manage incoming energy from food. At night, insulin should fall to low, steady levels so growth hormone and melatonin can rise. These hormones are responsible for cellular repair, memory consolidation, and tissue regeneration. Doctors were surprised to find that many older adults had elevated nighttime insulin even when daytime blood sugar looked normal. This silent disruption blocks healing where it matters most. Here's what happens inside your body when insulin remains high at night. Cells become resistant to nutrient uptake. Minerals, antioxidants, and fatty acids circulate in the bloodstream but cannot enter tissues efficiently. The brain remains in a semi-alert state instead of entering deep repair sleep. Inflammation lingers. The eyes do not receive adequate oxygen or antioxidant protection. Memory centers fail to organize and store information gathered during the day. This is why vision and recall can worsen even when diets appear healthy. This is not just aging, and this is not your fault. After 60, insulin sensitivity naturally declines due to hormonal changes, muscle loss, and altered digestion. Many seniors unknowingly eat late meals or small snacks that keep insulin elevated into the night. Even foods considered healthy can interfere with this process when timing is ignored. What you're experiencing is real, and it reflects physiology, not personal failure. The reason this factor is often missed is because insulin imbalance does not always produce obvious symptoms. It operates quietly, showing up as restless sleep, early waking, morning eye dryness, or subtle memory lapses that feel unsettling but difficult to explain. U.S. physicians observed that when nighttime insulin was addressed, patients often reported improvements across multiple systems simultaneously. Sleep deepened, morning clarity improved, eye comfort increased. These changes seemed unrelated until insulin was identified as the common link. This is where things get interesting. Insulin control at night does not require extreme dietary restriction or medication. In most cases, it requires respect for timing and sequence. Finishing dinner at least 2 hours before bed allows insulin to fall naturally. Choosing foods that do not spike blood sugar late in the evening protects hormonal balance. Consuming fats and proteins before small amounts of natural carbohydrates slows glucose absorption, preventing insulin surges. This sequence is why order matters so deeply in nighttime routines. When insulin remains stable, absorption improves dramatically. Magnesium enters nerve cells more effectively. Omega-3 fats integrate into brain membranes. Antioxidants reach the retina. Hormones coordinate instead of competing. Repair pathways activate. Without this stability, even the best nutrients fail to deliver results. Doctors emphasize that many patients were unknowingly blocking their own progress simply by disrupting insulin timing. Emotionally, this realization brings relief. It reframes frustration as information rather than failure. Seniors often fear that declining memory or vision means irreversible loss. Yet, insulin regulation reveals that the body is still responsive. It simply needs the right signal at the right time. This master switch explains why some people feel better quickly, while others see no change despite similar habits. Consistency matters more than intensity here. Stable insulin night after night sends a message of safety to the body. Repair becomes predictable. Hormones synchronize, the nervous system relaxes. Over time, this stability compounds, allowing vision and memory to improve gradually but meaningfully. This approach respects the pace of an older body and aligns with how healing actually occurs. U.S. physicians increasingly compare nighttime insulin management to long-term conditions like blood pressure or glucose regulation. It is not a one-time correction, it is ongoing maintenance. Stopping once improvement appears often reverses progress because the underlying signal disappears. When insulin control becomes routine, the body continues to respond. This master switch does not override nutrition, sleep, or movement. It allows them to work. Without it, effort scatters. With it, the body organizes, prioritizes, and repairs. For adults over 60, understanding this switch often marks the moment when confusion turns into clarity and hope feels grounded in biology rather than wishful thinking. A simple daily system works best when it respects the natural rhythms of an older body rather than trying to override them. After 60, complexity becomes the enemy of consistency, and consistency is what drives real biological change. Many seniors are overwhelmed by advice that demands strict schedules or constant monitoring. What most people don't realize is that the body responds more reliably to a few well-timed signals repeated daily than to aggressive interventions applied inconsistently. The morning portion of this system is intentionally gentle. Upon waking, hydration comes first. A glass of warm water supports circulation and prepares the digestive system without stressing blood sugar or hormones. There is no requirement to change breakfast or adopt restrictive eating patterns. Doctors observed that seniors were more likely to follow routines that did not disrupt familiar morning habits. Stability early in the day helps regulate cortisol, the hormone that sets the tone for insulin sensitivity later in the evening. Throughout the day, normal activity is encouraged rather than structured exercise mandates. Light movement, short walks, or household tasks help muscles remain responsive to insulin, which becomes increasingly important after 60. This responsiveness allows insulin to fall more naturally at night, a prerequisite for repair. What you're experiencing is real. Fatigue or stiffness does not mean your body is failing. It reflects a system that needs predictable, low-stress cues. The evening is where this system becomes precise. Dinner timing matters more than food perfection. Finishing the final meal at least 2 hours before bed allows insulin to decline and digestion to settle. Doctors were surprised to find that many seniors who struggled with sleep or memory ate modest but late dinners, unknowingly keeping their metabolism active during hours meant for repair. Portion size matters, but timing matters more. A calm digestive system signals safety to the brain. As night approaches, preparation replaces restriction. Almonds are soaked earlier in the day, requiring no effort in the evening. This small act builds anticipation rather than resistance. Around 30 minutes before bed, the sequence begins. Almonds are eaten first, chewed slowly, signaling the nervous system that nourishment is arriving without urgency. Magnesium and vitamin E begin calming nerve activity and reducing oxidative stress. Walnuts follow naturally. Their fats and proteins stabilize blood sugar and support anti-inflammatory pathways. This order is intentional. Almonds prepare the terrain, walnuts reinforce stability. Doctors observed that seniors who followed this sequence reported fewer nighttime awakenings and less digestive discomfort. Here's what happens inside your body. Hormones shift toward repair. Blood sugar remains steady. Inflammation quiets. Raisins come last. 1 tablespoon is enough. Their minerals enter a system already prepared to absorb them without insulin spikes. Oxygen delivery improves. Circulation to the eyes and brain is supported during the critical sleep window. This sequence transforms simple foods into coordinated signals. Without this order, benefits scatter. With it, the body organizes. The final component is environment. Dimming lights and reducing screen exposure for 30 minutes before sleep protects melatonin release. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it is a powerful antioxidant involved in brain and eye repair. Doctors emphasize that nutritional strategies work best when paired with light control, especially in older adults whose melatonin production has declined. This routine takes less than 10 minutes. No measurements beyond simple portions, no tracking, no strain. Emotionally, this matters. Seniors often abandon routines that feel demanding or punitive. This system feels supportive. It communicates respect for the body's pace. Over time, this predictability becomes powerful. Night after night, the body learns that evenings are safe for repair. Insulin settles, hormones synchronize, nutrients are delivered efficiently, memory consolidation improves, vision tissues receive consistent protection. This is not just aging slowing down, it is biology responding to rhythm. Doctors observed that seniors who maintain this system reported improvements not only in vision and memory, but in overall confidence. When routines feel manageable, adherence improves. When adherence improves, results follow. This system does not promise perfection. It offers reliability. For older adults, that reliability often becomes the foundation for lasting improvement. Progress with vision and memory repair follows a predictable timeline when the body is supported consistently, and understanding this prevents unnecessary worry. In the first 4 to 6 weeks, changes are often subtle but meaningful. Many seniors notice less eye dryness in the morning, fewer moments of visual strain in low light, and a calmer mental state upon waking. Memory slips may still occur, but they feel less alarming and less frequent. What most people don't realize is that these early signs indicate improved circulation and reduced inflammation, not coincidence. This is not your imagination, and it is not placebo. It is physiology beginning to respond. By the 3-month mark, noticeable changes often appear. Doctors observed that older adults reported clearer focus during conversations, improved word recall, and better tolerance to reading or screen time. Vision feels steadier rather than fluctuating. This is where things get interesting because consistency rather than intensity determines whether progress continues. Skipping nights or changing the order disrupts hormonal signaling and slows repair. This is not about perfection, it is about sending the same message to the body repeatedly so it learns to prioritize healing. At 6 months, visible improvement is more likely, especially for those who maintain stable nighttime routines. U.S. physicians emphasize that by this stage, repair processes have compounded. Blood vessels supplying the eyes and brain remain more flexible, inflammation stays lower, hormones regulate more smoothly. What you're experiencing is real. And this is not just aging, it reflects systems regaining balance. Long-term maintenance is essential. Doctors compare this approach to managing blood pressure or diabetes. Stopping once improvement appears often reverses gains because the underlying signals disappear. Seniors sometimes assume feeling better means the work is done, but biology does not work that way. The body responds to ongoing patterns, not short-term efforts. Continued consistency protects independence, clarity, and confidence over